Another development in the women's division that we saw on Monday night, got to get your thoughts on this because I don't think we've discussed this yet, was the Candice and Indy tag team match with Maxxine Dupri and Ivy Nile. So the match was nothing, obviously, and Candice has been teasing getting frustrated lately with all the losses that she and Indy have been racking up, dating back even before Elimination Chamber. They have not won in a while. They finally did win here, but only after Candice confronted Maxxine in the corner mid-match. The crowd heard none of this, which, I mean, that doesn't really bother me. It kind of seems more realistic as opposed to her grabbing a fucking microphone and then going off on her that way. That'd be dumb. But she corners her in the corner of the ring, and she just kind of goes off about how this is why the crowd boos you, because you're terrible. You have no idea what the other women in the back are saying about you. And then she goes all Randy Orton 06 or fucking... there was definitely another instance. I know Christian Cage, obviously, recently in AEW, but there was definitely another one. Eddie Guerrero with Orton. Maybe Batista? Did Batista make an Eddie comment? I think it was either Batista or someone else that was like,
Eddie's dead.
Yeah, was it Batista too? I know Orton did.
Batista said Eddie's dead.
Okay, he did, okay. I thought he did, but I'm trying to remember.
Randy Orton was the one that said that he was in hell.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, we've talked about that line before and how dumb that was, and that was right after he died too. So again, the match itself was whatever, but I do want to get your thoughts on the angle itself. Not whether it was tasteful or not, but like it was pretty. I didn't watch the show live. I caught up after the fact, and I saw a lot of people say they really liked it, which is the camp that I fell in personally. But I also saw a lot of other people say it was dumb, forced, unnecessary, gross, whatever. So, like, where did you fall on that line as far as, did you think it was forced and stupid and unnecessary, or do you think it was a nice change of pace?
So, I don't hate the line per se, I hate who it was said to.
Okay,
if it was someone that has a future, like, if that was something someone said to, like, Tiffany Stratton, fine. I think she's going to be a star anyways, and it's going to, like, motivate her, get her a little bit more going. Okay, with me, I don't know her personally. Probably, I don't know. Maybe saves small orphans on the weekends. I have no idea, but she is an awful wrestler. That's all I know. She could be the nicest person out there, but I just think she's so bad that like I just don't know if it's the right person to do this with, because like I feel like doing that, it's like supposed to like bump them up and like people. Oh, it's like. Get the people behind her, but like at the end of the day, it's not like she's gonna become like Frank Gotch overnight. Like she's not good in the ring, so it's gonna take like it's not like she has like any. I don't even think she has like any potential. That's even the worst part. Like I don't think she's meant to be a wrestler. Unfortunately, it's not meant for everyone. But I don't think the line itself was bad. But if it was someone that had potential, I think it would have been like, oh, people get behind her. I just don't think people are gonna get behind her because she's just not good in the ring.
I could see what you're saying. So you're saying that the attempt to kind of get her over and this whole like, oh, your brother's dead thing and the sympathy that she's bound to get from this from the audience is being wasted on her. I mean, obviously you're not going to use that line for someone else if it's not true, because this is obviously a true story and she was not talking about.
But like I said, I just don't think it's the right person, because I think even if the crowd gets behind her, they're going to get old of her quick because she's just not good in the ring.
Because she has a short shelf life in this role.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. I can understand that. I think it's worth the shot.
Like, they did that with like Indy Hartwell. It's like, okay, like she has potential. Like she's young. I feel like she has like the potential to become a star. Maxine's like bingo hall level wrestling. Like she's like training school. Like she's not good. I honestly don't know why. I don't know. Like I said, she could be really nice. She hears us. I don't want to take it personally. I want people to tweet at me and get mad. Like people booed her and shit. It's just the truth. I mean, I think they could have used this, like I said, maybe not the same verbiage, but she's not the right person to, like, get the fans behind, because I don't think she's good enough to back up the sympathy.
No, that's an interesting point, and I don't think you're necessarily wrong either, because we didn't talk about the video that went viral among wrestling fans a few weeks ago. That was the week I didn't talk to you, I think, on the phone for the show. But the whole Maxxine Dupri thing and how she got booed, and I don't know if it was just one person or if it was multiple people at that house show. And they said, you suck. Would I have done that personally? No, probably not. I would not have done that. Do I think it's that big of a deal? No, I don't. And I know you feel the same way. Exactly. I mean, it's wrestling. Again, as other people have said, if it was something sexist or just disgusting. Like, if someone in the crowd had said something like of what Candice said in storyline, then yeah, that's fucking gross. I mean, that goes for any female on the roster, male on the roster. Doesn't matter the gender. It doesn't really, hardly matters at all. Because I had also seen the comment from a lot of the hardcore fans, women's wrestling fans. I'm like, no, I'm not saying everyone, I'm not generalizing here, but there were certain comments that I saw like, oh, they would never do this to the men. I'm like, I mean, where were you in the territory days? I mean, it definitely was.
I was like, where were you when they literally, Eddie Guerrero died and Randy Orton told him that he was in hell, not heaven? Like,
oh yeah.
What do you mean?
No, yeah, I'm talking about the boos that she got at the house show.
Dude, people boo people all the time. It's just, I've been to plenty of house shows or wrestling shows that people are like, legitimately, I don't know, when there was a root there's plenty of terrible people and people booed them and said you suck.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, it depends.
Like, would I personally do that? Would I personally do that to the guys or a female talent? No, because that's not who I am. But I don't know, some people want to voice their opinion, so that's their prerogative.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's all within a certain extent. But if we're just talking about boos here and saying you suck, I mean, that's pretty basic level wrestling training school stuff. I mean, I honestly don't even really know. The whole thing is, I know she responded to it and she appreciated the support. It's not even like she had come out, because I'm not even blaming her either, because it's not like she had come out and said, oh, this really hurt my feelings. People just kind of interpreted that based on her reaction as she walked to the back. She said nothing about it. Maybe she was legitimately bothered, but I think she also knows, I mean, she hasn't been wrestling for that long, which she probably even knows that, listen, this shit happens and people have a right to their opinion. And again, if they want to voice it at a show in the way that they did, that's totally normal. Whether she's a face or heel, it hardly matters. I guess my other question is, and I'll get back to the comments that Candice made in a second, but going back to what you just said, have you officially written off Maxxine? Like, do you think that she can improve, whether it be with more time in the main roster or putting her back in NXT? You think she's just at a point where she's just not going to be that good?
From watching wrestling for over 20 years, I think she's done.
You think you've seen enough?
I've seen enough. I don't think she'll get any better. I mean, she gives me like I said, like I said, I don't know why they called her up to begin with, because I just don't think, one, she's even close to being ready, but two, I just don't think she's going to get any better on the main roster to begin with. I don't think even if you send her back down to NXT, because realistically, if you send her back down to NXT, she's going to probably take up over time over girls that are a lot better than her in the ring and probably are way more interesting. So, I mean, maybe they just called her up, like obviously with the whole maximum male models thing, but I mean, if she went down to NXT, there's plenty of other women down there that, I mean, there's plenty of women, I can name a ton, that have way more potential and are already better than her. And they're probably younger than her, too. So,
oh, no, definitely, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I blame the company more than obviously I'll blame her, because obviously she's just not ready. But I just feel like she was, like, called up for the specific reason, and like, oh, we're going to put her in the ring. But, I don't know, it's just... I'm trying to think of other examples. It's just like the year that they called up all those people for NXT that just like weren't ready, and then none of them did anything. It's like, I don't know. She gives me like Summer Rae vibes. Like, she was not that good in the ring. She never really got good. She never got any better. Eva Marie, same kind of thing. Like, never really got better, and they kind of like fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
Very Lana-esque. Very Lana-esque. There you go. That's the best person I can explain about her.
Yeah, no, I think Lana is actually probably the perfect example. I mean, Lana was a manager for a long time before she started wrestling, but with Lana, though, I think she was in a pretty similar boat. Eva Marie as well, where I think they both improved, to give them credit for what it's worth. I think they both improved from where they were. That's also impossible when you were as bad as they were when they first started, obviously. But I just don't think either of them were really cut out for the ring. Specifically Lana, I just never really could get into her matches, and she ended up becoming passable by the end of her WWE run in 2020, 2021. But she was still not remotely like, of all the women that we have right now, I mean, again, if this was maybe 15 years ago, then I think she would have fared well for herself. And I'm not saying now she's going to be awful.
Yeah. 15 years ago in SmackDown was Joy Giovanni. She would have fit right in.
No, I think she would be better than most of the women they had even then, too. But I just think at a time where you have all of these women that, a lot of whom do not get television time, and are much better than she is, in the ring, just objectively, then I'm not sure I'm not saying she's not worth the time to invest in and see if she can improve. I do think give her more reps and try to make her improve. But as far as pushing her, probably not. To go back to what you said, as far as
do this with Alba Fire, do this with someone that has potential.
Yeah, obviously you got to find something relevant there. You can't be going through the Rolodex of all right.
Yeah, you can make stuff up. Yeah, people don't know everything. You can make it up.
You can't. You got to go
in the territory there.
Alba, what relative do you have that's dead? Who can we make fun of on the show? The whole Force thing. I understand because it did kind of come out of nowhere. I was like, holy shit, that didn't really bother me honestly, and I can't even say like, oh man, this is so forced. And if you feel that way, that's fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I did not feel that way, mostly because I see it every fucking Wednesday in Dynamite. And I know it's a shtick at this point. I love Christian. I think the stuff that he does is hilarious. But I can't sit here and say, oh, that Christian gimmick is just so funny, and then sit here and tell you, well, the stuff they did on Raw with Candice and Maxxine that's just disgusting. How could they even do that? That just came out of nowhere. It's not like Candice. She's been teasing a heel turn, and people say dumb things when they get mad. That seems pretty logical to me. I don't know if I would tell someone that I wish, I'm glad their brother died, but, I've seen some pretty gross stuff in my life, so I'm not entirely shocked by that. So I don't know, there was that too. We see it in AEW all the time. It's definitely different, but not different enough to say, oh, it works here, but not here. I don't know, that didn't really bother me. But I can see what you're saying as far as they're wasting it on her because she's not going to be worth the point. It's not leading to her becoming this great underdog. Yeah, it's not
her becoming WWE champion or a star, exactly.
No, I can understand that. I'm willing to see where it goes. I think there's a pretty good chance that, it ends up being, it's something. It gives her something to do. It gives Candice something to do. She's done I think this can obviously benefit. To me, I think it's less about Maxxine. I'm looking at it this way. I think it's less about her and more about Candice and maybe giving her more heat and getting her more over, hopefully, and kind of giving her something to do. And maybe Indy in the end as well. I don't know. Maybe Indy has a dead relative that maybe Candice can become the Christian Cage of the women's division. I don't know, but for now I'm okay with it. I thought it was a cool angle. We don't see that sort of stuff often in WWE. I don't want people coming out every week talking about their dead siblings that are actually dead. That's kind of fucked up. But for this one angle, I thought it was fine. So I guess we'll see where it goes.